ShotokuTech, Saturday Story Time. These are the stories that you might have missed while you were caught up in other stories. You're watching ShotokuTech, Saturday Story Time, 27 June 2020 edition. Hi, welcome back to ShotokuTech Saturday Story Time. This new company, Space Perspective, wants to take passengers up to 100,000 feet in the air, close to 19 miles high, but on a balloon. Wow. So originally they've always had this point of view, but they've spun off this specific company, Space Perspective, to perform this activity. They also have other plans to send these stratolites, which are packages of sensors, up in the air in the same manner, not quite orbiting the Earth, but acting as satellites and making observations of the planet. So good luck with that. Just watch out for the Space Needle. Okay, so Rick Astley gets Rickrolled on Reddit. On Wednesday, the singer Rick Astley casually posted a resurfaced early career photo for fans to enjoy on Reddit. I found a few funny memories during the lockdown. This is from my first tour in 1989 backstage in Las Vegas. Well, someone replied and said, "I think I might cry. It's actually you. I met you backstage at the event when I was 12. Seriously a big fan. I've seen you in concert 5 times." And he left a hyperlink to Never Gonna Give You Up. And Rick responded by simply doing a clap emoji, applauding the fan. So be careful not to cross the memes. Okay, so this satellite, Rosita, has been busy for the last 6 months surveying the entire sky. It's in outer space, rotating continuously over 150 to 200 seconds, and it's an X-ray telescope. So this is the most massive X-ray image of the universe. Over the course of 182 days, the Rosita X-ray telescope has completed its first full sweep of the sky. It embarked on this journey about a year ago. The first complete image is about 4 times deeper than the previous all-sky survey made by ROSAT, an X-ray telescope 30 years ago. So go to my blogger page and follow the link to check this out for yourself. On Sunday, Indonesia's Mount Merapi erupts twice, spewing ash 6 kilometers high. Local media reported that the people in neighboring areas, including Sleman and Klaten, heard strong rumbling sounds in the morning. Mount Merapi's last major eruption in 2010 killed more than 300 people and forced the evacuation of some 280,000 residents. Doesn't appear that anybody was injured this time, so that's good news. This is an interesting discovery. There's a circle of deep shafts that circles one of the largest parts of the Stonehenge, this Durrington walls. There's 20 of these shafts that are more than 5 meters deep and 10 meters in diameter, and they're in a circle around the Durrington walls pictured here. The size of the shafts and the circuit surrounding Durrington walls is currently unique. It demonstrates the significance of the Durrington walls henge, the complexity of monumental structures within the Stonehenge landscape, and the capacity and desire of Neolithic communities to record their cosmological beliefs in ways and at a scale we had never anticipated. Okay, thanks to this project called Seabed 3030, they've reported that they've mapped more than 19% of the ocean's floors. The initiative has been helped by 133 contributors, partners, and supporters. Some of the data has been publicly available, but it hasn't been assembled and turned over until recently. Again, go to my blogger page so that you can follow this link to find out more. Here's a financial scandal brought to you by Germany. This company, Wirecard, had over $2 billion on the books that it says likely never existed. So as a result of that, the CEO, Mark Braun, resigned on Friday. And then on Monday, they said, we don't know where this $2 billion is. And so Mr. Braun had an arrest warrant issued, and he turned himself in Monday evening. So hopefully we can get to the bottom of this. That's a lot of money. Okay, so sadly this wasn't in time for Woodstock, but the Grateful Dead have released a line of vegan deodorant. Working together with North Coast Organics, they've developed this line of deodorant. What do you suppose a true die-hard deadhead smells like? Sweat, beer, or maybe way too much weed? How about rose, lavender, and juniper? They have the band's iconic Thunderbolt on the packaging, and there's 5 different scents: Skull and Roses, which is lavender and rose; Sunshine, blood orange and bergamot; Working Man's, which is cedarwood, juniper; Timber, Douglas fir, and sage; and unscented. It's 100% natural, vegan, even edible. So China launches its final satellite to complete their Beidou system. And of course, the booster falls in the forest and lights a fire. But this Beidou system is essentially a navigation and positioning system, much like our GPS system, consisting of 27 satellites in medium Earth orbit, 5 geostationary orbit, and 3 more in geosynchronous orbits. A total of 55 Beidou satellites have been launched over 2 decades. This is the 3rd generation. The 3rd generation Beidou satellites are designed to provide positioning, navigation, and timing services globally. It joins the US GPS, Russia's GLONASS, and the European Galileo systems in providing this coverage. Of course, downrange, there's like a lot of debris. The spent boosters may have fallen close to inhabited areas. Apparently, related footage posted on social media shows orange smoke rising from trees close to a reservoir downrange in Yuqing County in the Jiangsu province. The smoke was likely caused by residual dinitrogen tetroxide oxidizer. The first stage and the 4-side boosters of the Long March 3B use a toxic hypergolic propellant combination of hydrazine and dinitrogen tetroxide. So this new map reveals that New Zealand is part of a larger continent, Zealandia. This continent was part of the Antarctic and Australia continents, and as it broke off, it sank below the ocean. You can see here in the picture, very little bit of it is above the surface of the ocean. There's New Zealand, and then the rest of this landmass is just submerged underneath the water. Like 94% of this giant landmass is submerged underwater, with just a little bit making up New Zealand. Very interesting. They have an interactive website. Again, if you go to my blogger, you can follow these links to these stories and check out more yourself. So NASA has plans to crash into this tiny asteroid, but they finally just got around to naming it. So this DART mission, which stands for Double Asteroid Redirection Test. So DART is targeting this binary pair of a larger rock and a much smaller rock that were collectively known as Didymos, with the smaller moon rock being simply called Didymos B. Now they're calling this rock Dimorphos, and they're going to crash into it. They figure as this rock is going to be coming close to the Earth, they can observe it, and that by crashing into it, they can see how much of a change they've made in the eventual motion of this tiny asteroid. All right, it's going to be interesting. So we keep finding out more and more about this Pluto. I wish we could just get back to calling it a planet, but recent studies suggest that Pluto may have possessed an underground ocean, and it may still be. Previously, they thought that Pluto was formed from cold and icy rock clumping together in the distant Kuiper belt. And the evidence is showing instead what they're seeing here. There's this lack of dense ice on the surface. The ocean may still be flowing below. Scientists are arguing now, instead of a cold formation, that Pluto had a hot start full of explosive force. Right now, we see a very cold frozen world because it's far away from the sun. But by looking at the geology recorded on the surface, they can infer that Pluto had a rapid and violent formation that warmed the interior enough to form subsurface ocean. Let's scroll down here. You can see these cracks are an evidence of expansion, not contraction. They said that you wouldn't see these marks if the planet had just started out cold and went on to show signs of compression. So this is an interesting discovery here. And that New Horizons spacecraft, boy, just the amount of data that we got from that is just astounding. Okay, so we're going to finish up by talking about the moon. Why does the near side and the far side look so different? The near side of the moon is characterized by dark patches known as lunar maria. These are plains of dark basalt that were formed by the moon's ancient volcanic activity. The other side of the moon, the one facing away from Earth, has a paler appearance due to fewer lunar marias on the surface. Also, this side of the moon has a thicker crust. So they've made a thermal model of the moon and discovered another major difference between the near and far side. They find that the side of the moon facing the Earth is unusually rich in various elements such as potassium, phosphorus, and other rare earth elements. The element-rich region has been labeled as Prosolarum creep terrain based on the atomic symbols of the elements in the area. Previous observations have revealed that this region has heat-generating properties due to its abundance of radioactive elements. According to researchers, these properties may have led to high volcanic activity in the area. Okay, so make sure to follow the link down below to Blogger here, where all of the links for these stories can be found, because many of these deserve more attention, and I'm sure you're interested to read about them. Make sure to leave a comment down below on some things you might like to see in ShotokuTech Saturday Storytime, and I'm going to keep working at finding the stories that you might have missed. All right, have a good week. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching ShotokuTech Saturday Storytime. Thank you for watching ShotokuTech. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share.